Hey everyone, Renegade 68 here for some more 999. So I don't know how long this true ending thing is, but I just skipped past all this stuff we've already seen basically. Santa just left my ass behind. There's still a little bit left, I think, before we get to the new stuff. But I thought I'd start, I have to start somewhere before the new stuff. I can't randomly just start on the new stuff, because I'm going to be like, wait, what's going on? Yeah. Before I get into this, I want to try and make this fairly smooth. Like, I don't want to be constantly interrupting going, what about, wait, what, maybe, what if... So I think I'm going to just get my thoughts out now about, like, just everything that I think about and what I think is going to happen. I'm going to say this now, and then I'm going to get into actually progressing, and then I'll try to stay fairly consistent with keeping in the story, and I'll only really break it off if something major happens. Which, who knows, this being the true ending could be like every 5 seconds. But yeah, here's my thoughts. In Pathway 3, I still really don't know what's going on there. Like, I've thought about, oh hey, they showed that Lotus was missing her bracelet. Does that mean it makes sense that Ace did it? But that doesn't make sense. He would still need a skeleton key. Because for one thing, the sun door, like, who opened that? But also, the, what was it? The door we were going through just to get to the main staircase, it would have been very unlikely, almost impossible for them to have actually opened that. For that to have happened, it would need to be Ace with June and the Ninth Man. And as we saw, June was still alive. She was just dying, which means it would have to have been Ace would have somehow had to convince June to come with her into door 7 with the Ninth Man's bracelet to actually get the key they needed to get into the main staircase, which means someone is definitely running around there with a skeleton key. Now here's my theory. Man, it's not a full theory. It's kind of just pieces of a theory, but the submarine, I don't think that would have just always been there. I think someone took the submarine from outside and came in, and they had the skeleton key. Like, maybe they, well, not Zero, but, or maybe Zero, maybe they were Zero, maybe they were watching the game, and they're like, I'm not liking this anymore, I'm gonna come in and kill everyone. And that's where the submarine came from, and they came in and did stuff. Okay, so what are the theories I have? I still have the theory that obviously Santa's sister was the one that died in the previous game. I feel like that's all but confirmed. I mean, technically it's not confirmed, but, also, we might know, Snake's name, like, cause, there was Owie, Light, and Nona. Wouldn't it be funny if Snake was named Light? That would be hilarious. What else? What else do we maybe know? Oh, the thing with Alice, yeah, getting back to that. That's definitely gonna play some kind of role, but I'm not sure what. Here's what part of me is thinking. And actually, I'm all over the place there, just because I've been having these thoughts over the last few days, and I'm only now getting to record this. But the thing with Alice, maybe June is actually like June isn't the real June, and she's actually Alice, who is also Zero. That's a random possibility I thought of. I don't know why that's a thing, but, I'm sure Alice is going to come into play somehow. Then, what else have I thought of? Oh, possibility number 2. The reason Santa has such an obsession with June is because she looks a lot like Santa's sister. Or maybe plot twist, she is Santa's sister, and there was another switch, and instead of it being Alice, it's actually Santa's sister. I don't know, I'm just saying shit now. But, I would not be surprised if she looks a lot like Santa's sister, because that might explain Santa's obsession with her, which he has to have. Like, that's the only way it makes sense. I know I made a theory back when I recorded the first playthrough that maybe, Santa was secretly a good guy, and he actually knows shit that we don't, and we're gonna find out when we get through it, that he's actually doing things for a good reason. I don't know if that's still true. I don't think so. I think he's just kind of a selfish jerk, but, I'm not entirely sure. What other thoughts do I have? Who is Zero? That's a good question. I actually, I have not went back into playthrough 2, and checked if anything else works for, any other number works with the 0 bracelet. And the reason I didn't do that is because if no other number works, that's going to make me super suspicious of June being 0. And I mean, I'm already suspicious, but I kind of want to leave it up in the air. Like maybe every number works, or I don't know. But let's say, like, who do I think is most likely to be 0? June. Like, it's obvious. I mean, it's not obvious, but it's the kind of thing where it's like it would be. It's the kind of thing where it would be an interesting plot twist, which makes it obvious, kind of thing. Who would it be if it's not June? That's a good question. It's not going to be Ace. That's the number one candidate we can rule out. Santa's a possibility if his sister was the one who died. Then maybe he's the one running shit. But I don't know. 7. I don't think it's 7. I don't think it's Lotus. I don't think it's Clover or Snake. I guess. I don't know. Junpei. I don't know if it would be possible for Junpei to be 0. Just because, like, he saw the man coming into his apartment. Unless his memories are playing tricks with him, like, the only way that works is if he's got a split personality. My theory, June might have a split personality, actually. That might be how she's 0. But Junpei, I don't know if that would work, because he clearly saw someone come into his apartment, right? Again, his memory could be fucking with him somehow, but I don't think that's likely. I think the most likely thing is that June is 0, but we shall see. Or it could be someone else altogether. Maybe the game's fucking with me this whole time, like alluding to it being one of us. Maybe it's none of us. Maybe we're all innocent. So, that's basically my theories. Let's stop beating around the bush. We just want to get into this plot stuff, right? So let's do it. Junpei, Clover, and 7 have been left behind. Clover looked down at her hand and traced with her finger the faint blue veins that crisscrossed them. 7 shoved his arms into the front of his overalls and scratched his stomach. No one spoke. Silence made the air feel thick and oppressive. Desperate for something, anything to occupy his mind, Junpei walked to the larger of the 2 9 doors. He stood in front of it and looked at the red. It read engaged. He moved to the smaller door. Still vacant. The red read vacant. The digital root of the remaining people was 7. 5 plus 4 plus 7 equals 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. There was no possible way for them to open a door with 9 on it. Junpei touched the surface of the door. He thought about June, about Akane Karashiki. Was she safe? That was all that mattered to him. If she was alive, if she had escaped this horrible boat, that was what Junpei prayed for. 7 came up next to him. He pulled off his hat, scratched his head, and sighed. So, what do you want to do, Junpei? What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do? 7 opened his mouth to respond when... There's the coffin. That bullshit to be continued coffin. A noise echoed through the room. Someone was pounding on something, vigorously. Wakey, wakey, we've got a snakey. It wasn't mechanical, it was certainly human. Junpei and 7 looked at one another. What the hell's that? Shh! Quiet! Clover motioned to 7 to be quiet. She put one finger to her lips and closed her eyes in concentration. The 3 of them listened, trying to determine where the sound was coming from. Where? Where was it coming from? Could it be... Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin. You're right. Let's open it. But how? What are those muscles for? For show? You're telling me to force it open? Just shut up and try. Junpei and 7 grabbed hold of the coffin. They tried to get a good grip with what little purchase they could find, and pulled with all their strength. Arg. Gah. Sorry, I'm saving my epic voice for later. Damn it. Man, it won't even budge. There was some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. Its purpose would not have been difficult to determine. Their eyes were almost immediately drawn to it. Not another one. Yeah, looks like it. Do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open? I think so. The noise wasn't stopping. In fact, it was getting louder. They had no idea who was in the coffin, but they wanted out, and they wanted out now. They had no idea what they were supposed to do. Without a passcode, it didn't seem like there was a lot they could do. They couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to be. Isn't there a hint somewhere? You have the hint, Clover. Well, let's look for one. Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the pews, and Seven investigated the desks, but they turned up nothing. The sound still wouldn't stop. It wasn't a noise that belonged in the room. What was the passcode? What was Junpei supposed to do? How was he supposed to figure it out? He needed something. Oh god, I'm fearing it's going to show up to be continued again anyways. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it! The world blinked. Oh, okay. Whew. No to be continued again. Thank you. New stuff. Whoa! What the? Suddenly there was a voice inside of Junpei's head? Truth had gone, and truth had gone. What? Inside of Junpei's head? Oh my god, was I right? Maybe Junpei is Zero. Maybe he does have that split personality. Then that would make sense with the... Okay. At the end of Pathway 2, you know how they beat Ace, kind of? Sort of? Well, and then they kept going, and I was like, you had to keep going? Yeah, I did it on a cliffhanger kind of thing. I don't know what the fuck was up with Santa, where he went, but when the whole game over thing happened, Zero said that Junpei was closer than he thought. At the time I thought, well, does that mean June is Zero? But if June having the 6 bracelet, equal to the 0 is a red herring, then that would mean Junpei might actually be Zero. Again, when I started this session, I legitimately thought it's probably June, just because, like, Junpei did see someone come to his apartment, and that's the big thing, but I guess his memory could just be playing tricks on him. Now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand. What the hell is that? That voice? Junpei was utterly and completely baffled. Huh? What are you talking about? What's up? Seven and Clover ran over to him, but Junpei didn't know what to tell them. If he told them he'd heard a voice, they'd laugh, or worse, think he was going insane. So all he said was, "Oh, nothing." He cleared his throat a little too loud, and looked pointedly down at his bracelet. There were a pair of small buttons protruding from either side of it. Junpei pressed the buttons on the bracelet. Oh, am I supposed to remember this? I don't remember. Truth has gone, truth is gone, truth is gone. It's like, it's either left, right, left, right, left, right, or right, left, right, left, right, left. Let's see, there's left, right, left, right, left, right over here, and right, left, right. I don't remember which is which. I think it's right, left, right, left, right, left. I'm gonna try it. Let's go for it. Right, left, right, left, right, left. That was it. Eight numbers blinked on and then off on the bracelet display. Junpei checked one last time. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. Yeah. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. Huh? Eh? What the hell were those numbers? Oh my gosh, are those... Junpei didn't answer. He simply walked straight to the coffin. He knelt down in front of the keypad, running over the numbers in his head so they wouldn't forget. 1438-3421. 1438-3421. Oh gosh. We're finally gonna get to see him in the pathway proper. Snake got so gypped. He was the only one with only one door. You know, with everyone else, you could go with them through at least two doors. But with him, just one, and it's not even a canon door. Like, in the canon pathway, where you get to the true ending, you don't even go through that door. So, like, gosh. But we're finally going to see him again. Nice. He's going to get reunited with Clover. Alright, and then we can go through the 9 door. Alright. That was all of them. He punched the E button. There was a moment of complete silence. We still have to use that Uranus key somewhere. It's going to come into play. Just thought I'd mention that. Then there was the sound of the coffin lid unlatching. Someone sat up out of it. Ah! Is that you, Clover? I apologize for worrying you. Snake! Oh, how did you... Junpei and Seven, is that you? Everyone else there as well? Just like Rip Van Winkle. Still, it was very much like Snake to simply cut to the heart of the matter and ask. Junpei and Seven shared a wry smile. Clover's eyes were filled with tears. That's exactly my thoughts. With a cry of joy, she leapt into Snake's arms. Aw, that's nice. Gently now. My body's still a little weak. You're back! You're back! Clover looked like nothing so much as a lost child who had finally found her home. She cried and cried and cried. Her eyes were red and her nose was running. She hiccuped and gasped as if she was about to begin hyperventilating. You're back! You're really here! Her voice was happy but almost desperate, as if she feared he would disappear again if she stopped talking to him. Nice. Tear after tremendous tear rolled its way down her face. I'm happy. She really is my favorite character of the bunch, even if she does go a little crazy in that other pathway. Her small arms strained as she clutched Snake's body as tightly as she could. Perhaps she had to convince herself he was real. Perhaps she was worried he would be gone the moment she let go. Perhaps she simply didn't know what else to do. Oh, you're back. Come now, what's gotten into you? You're acting as though I've returned from the grave. Not as though you did. I really thought you were dead. Huh? You jerk! Idiot, idiot, idiot! Ellipses. Clover broke into sobs so great she could no longer talk. Oh crap, one's blind, the other's mute. How's that gonna work? It was a touching reunion between brother and sister. Even though Junpei knew they had little time, and every minute they waited was a minute they wasted, it felt cruel to pull them apart. Junpei and Seven sat down at one of the pews, waiting for Clover to calm down before explaining to Snake what had transpired. At some point we're also going to figure out again that Ace is a dick. I don't know how that's going to happen though. Maybe he wrangles the gun from Santa? I see. I believe I understand things rather well now, thank you. In the shower room, there was a dead body wearing my clothes. Because of that, you felt that I was dead. Correct? He had quickly and neatly surmised the events of several hours. Junpei nodded. You also discovered a corpse in the captain's quarters, and Santa turned on you here, in this room. Do I have it straight? Seven had been rather surprised to learn of the dead body in the captain's quarters. With everything that had taken place, Junpei had simply forgotten to mention it to him. Well then, I've got a pretty decent idea of what happened while I was indisposed, but it's still something of a mystery who did all this and why. The corpse in the shower room that looked like me, and the corpse in the captain's quarters. Why were they killed in the way they were? You don't know? No. Why would I? The guy in the shower room. We don't know who he is, so let's just call him Mr. X. Wow, you come up with the same name I do in the alternate pathway. Maybe it's like what we've all been saying this entire time, where we're transporting the thingies. That's gonna come into play. You know that's gonna come into play at some point in this ending. Anyway, this Mr. X is wearing Snake's clothes. But you're wearing some kind of weird robes. That means someone took your clothes and put them on Mr. X. Need to figure out who that was. I apologize, but I have no idea who might have done this to me. I only just now woke up. I was unconscious during all the events you just described to me. They must have undressed me and changed my clothes during that time. When were you knocked out? When we split up to look for the red. Where did they get you? Do you remember? It was a small room in one of the hallways on C deck. What happened? The same thing that happened to every one of us when we were abducted. A can releasing some sort of gas was thrown into the room. I believe the gas is some sort of incapacitating agent. Then that means it was 0. Looks that way, huh? There's nothing else I have to tell you. When I woke up, I was in this coffin. Junpei crossed his arms and thought. Why had 0 made Mr. X wear Snake's clothes? It was to make the game more interesting and try and make Ace reveal himself. And we already know this, but Junpei doesn't yet. Damn dramatic irony. How did the results of that trick benefited 0? It was a mystery. Junpei couldn't make sense of it. He also didn't have a satisfactory explanation for how he discerned the key code for the coffin. It just didn't make sense. Okay, another thing I guess I should probably bring up is when you start up the game, in the intro cutscene that I have still not watched, one little part of it at the beginning that you really can't avoid seeing is, what do I know? And like Junpei says this. And what I thought that meant at the time was maybe the reason you can't get the true ending on your first pathway is that you need to know something. And then you carry over your knowledge throughout the pathways for some reason. Like maybe this is all one big game. Like it is a game, but maybe it's like some kind of simulator, and it's like it's all not a dream, but some kind of like virtual world that he was trapped in. And that's what I thought might have been the case, something like that. But if he's 0, then what he knows is you know stuff that his other personality would know, kind of thing. And that might be what it is. But of course, it's still possible this is a virtual world type thing, and he remembered the thing from the other pathway. That could be it. But I'm thinking it's more likely he's just straight up 0. It's probably not that simple, but I don't know for sure. So let's just keep going. Truth had gone, and truth had gone. What did that mean? Did it mean anything? And why did Junpei felt compelled to push the buttons on the bracelet after hearing them? Somebody had asked him about it while they waited for Clover to finish crying. He had no answer for him then, and he still didn't. All he could say was that it seemed to have been a subconscious reaction. His fingers had simply moved of their own accord. It was the only explanation that made any sort of sense. It made almost no sense. Junpei had no idea what any of it meant. His mind was a maelstrom of mysteries. Clues, theories, and more mysteries. He could barely think. And of course, Snake and Clover had been subjects since a similar experiment 9 years ago. Can we get some more details on that, please? And can we actually get the name of the chick who died? Oh, Aoi. Let me guess. Is it Aoi? I don't know. The ability to access a morphogenic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger. And someone did actually die. A girl. Her name was, there had been another experiment conducted on the same ship 9 years ago. A girl had died during morphogenic field theory. The 2 murders. Switching clothes. The nonary game. And whatever strange thing was happening to Junpei himself. The maelstrom in his head spat out words and ideas that disappeared back into it almost as soon as he grasped them. But as he struggled through them, Junpei began to realize something. There was something that tied all of them together. Zero. He was the ringleader, the person who had trapped the 9 people on a sinking ship. Zero knew everything. If they could uncover Zero's identity, all their questions would be answered. Who was Zero? Junpei had the beginnings of a theory. If he could only test it, or perhaps